USL League One heads up to the Evergreen State as Spokane Velocity FC hosts the Richmond Kickers in one of the most anticipated matches of the season. And Carlos Marancio, atop the league in saves, propelled his side to the top of the table thus far in 2025. For James Sneddon, also league leader in saves, he looks to replicate his win versus Spokane from his first professional start last August. It's a Sunday matinee in USL League One. The table toppers in Spokane Velocity look to remain atop the table for a third consecutive week against a highly touted scoring team in the Richmond Kickers. Josh Lill bringing you all the action this evening, and today's match is brought to you by Thrivent. Now this matchup, it features the league's best and brightest. In terms of goal scoring, both these clubs are top two in League One in goals scored. Now there's no shortage of playmaking either. 4 different players have recorded 3 assists on the year between these two clubs. And defensively, James Sneddon and Carlos Marancio, they've seen a lot of shots and they've saved plenty as well. They give their clubs a chance to win every single week. And a player that's been on a roll for Spokane as of late, Anwar Pelaez, and you never leave the pitch when you're on a heater. Second most goals in Spokane's short history, and Lee Wiedemann wants his club to not let up in matches. He wants them to keep their foot on the gas pedal, and Pelaez with his motor, Spokane can accomplish just that. Anwar Pelaez, he's scored in back-to-back matches. He's got 5 goals and an assist in his last 6 league matches. He's got a knack for finding the ball in the area, and he will be a handful for Richmond to handle. Flipping it over to the visitors, Darwin Espinal, all eyes will be on him this evening. He's been cold as of late. However, he can light it up at any moment. All 5 of his goals, they came in a 4-match span. He'll be tested against a stellar Spokane defense this evening, but the focus for him and the staff, they have to own the play in transition and control the flanks. They'll also need Espinal's leadership as well, and Darren Sawatsky mentioned Darwin's been great for us. He's fit like a puzzle piece with this roster, and you need the right vets to mentor the younger players. Well, 2 of the league's best and most feared are set to clash. Can Spokane extend their win streak in the league to 5 matches? Or will Richmond pick up their first road win in over 2 months? Don't go anywhere. Starters and kickoff up next.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months. Or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 Wild bonus cash.
Today's match is brought to you by Thrivent. Plan your finances for the people, causes, and community you love. Velocity FC set to take on the Kickers in the final match of Week 11 and their 2-1 series lead against Darren Sawatsky and the Richmond Kickers. Visitors in their road reds with white letters and numbers, and we are underway from One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Josh Lill bringing you all the action this evening from the Pacific Northwest. Spokane in their classic home whites with impact blue letters and numbers. Richmond going left to right, Spokane going right to left. And the weather today in Spokane, 55 degrees. And with the wind at about 10 miles an hour to the east, it feels like 47 degrees. Mid-May, it's a little colder than most fans would expect. Lee Veedman leading the Spokane side. At the top of the table so far here in 2025. Coach Lee Veedman also searching for win number 20. The helm of Spokane here in year number 2. Darren Sawatsky, the 8th ever head coach for Richmond in year number 6. 55 wins over his tenure. A stellar ending to the 2024 campaign, guiding his side to a record of 4 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws. To work their way in the playoff picture and go into the postseason as an 8th seed. For Richmond, a side who struggled to stay consistently above the playoff line last year, change that narrative fairly quickly. Tied for 4th in the league entering today. As for the home side, Spokane Velocity. Well, after Charlotte's win against One Knox on Friday night, Velocity FC and the Independents currently even, 17 points atop the League One table. Heavy chance of rain at 4 p.m. Pacific time, according to the weather app. Those chances have decreased mightily. Josh Kirkland looking on Derek Waldeck inside. David Garcia clearing with ease. Makes today just so exciting, if you tuned in with us for our opening segment. Both clubs are the top 2 attacking teams in League One. Richmond with 17 goals, that's good for first. And Velocity with 16. And a mistouch there by Sneddon. His attempted boot was blocked. Lucky it did not find the foot of a Spokane player. James Sneddon, one of the many teenagers on this roster, 19 years old, a Richmond native. Started on an academy contract, and his work, a 4-win stretch to close out the regular season last year. Part of the reason he is a mainstay between the sticks this year for Darren Sawatsky, as he gives that one away right over the head of Lee Veedman. There is Lee Veedman, looking to be a little more consistent in attacking builds this week. I think it's fair to say both of these teams, Mother Nature was not in their favor last week. Starting with the Richmond Kickers. Well, it wasn't much of a field they played on in Chattanooga. They had to have a rain delay in the 42nd minute. To be honest with you, the level of precipitation made the field look like a bad batch of beef stew. Spokane. Lee Wiedemann told me the challenges that come with playing in the rainfall and tormenta. A tougher pitch to play on. He told me in the days leading up to the match, it was quite bouncy. One thing both coaches mentioned the days leading up to this match is there was some grittiness involved. Pulling out results last weekend. So cross sails over the head of Pierre Reedy. Darren Sawatsky coming out of that gritty match against Chattanooga. Scoreless draw. Sawatsky so emphatic of the youth movement of Richmond. Beckett Howell starting at left back today, 19 years of age. Griffin Garnett not in squad today. Also another one of those many great teenagers. Taking a look at our keys to the game, presented by Ford. Spokane, well, like we mentioned, keep your foot on the gas pedal. For Richmond, it's about controlling the flanks. We talked about the dominance of play that Derek Waldeck and Javier Martin have along the touchlines, both offensively and defensively. Guys on the outside for Richmond, they're gonna have to work quick in transition. They have to act fast. Defend the quick counter of Spokane. And your keys to the game presented by Ford. Our head official today, Kalin Radosov. Down in the blue, right in the central column of the pitch. The club's still trying to get a groove for each other. Saw each other 3 times last year. Spokane winning 2 of those 3, but Richmond getting the last laugh back in the final round of the Jägermeister Cup on August 29th. It's a big turning point for the Kickers. And James Snedden's first professional start. He would go on a run of 3 consecutive shutouts in league play after that match. Richmond have to keep an eye on here early is how quick Spokane is to attack. 8 first half goals in 8 league matches this year. Club's getting a chance to get out and run here early, one of those being successful. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, the Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Costa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Back to Carlos Marancio. Impressive numbers so far. After not getting the starting nod in the latter half of last year to Brooks Thompson. Marancio with an impressive save percentage. Stopping 23 of 29 shots this year. It's good for 79%. Flipped into the middle of the field. Denton with a good find. Here's Pelaez. Able to control the ball in that spin. Anwar Pelaez. You can hear the oohs and the ahs as he enters the attacking third. Such a dangerous presence in runs like that. And Jack Denton with excellent vision to find the star forward. Just unable to connect. And tonight's injury report is brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. Nothing to report for Spokane. And for the visitors, Adrian Billhart and Griffin Garnett still a little banged up from previous matches. Darren Sawadsky would love to have them back ASAP. Garnett, highly regarded youthful talent in the league. Versatile defender. And Adrian Billhart, plenty of starts last year. Would be such a key piece off of the bench. Take away, and it's Joan with an opportunity. Fans begging for a foul call inside the box. Luis Gil was unfairly challenged. We'll be curious as to whether or not Neil Vinyals will see any minutes today. Vinyals spending a good chunk of his career with the Richmond Kickers, 4 years, as a matter of fact, recording 19 goals and 18 assists in his time out east. Overall, he's 5th all-time in goals for Richmond and 2nd in club history in assists. Trouble finding minutes this year. With the stellar play of Luis Gil, just embracing his role as a leader on the bench. Coming on with valiant effort when needed. Radosav having a conversation with Cameron Miller right now. And he's shown a red card. Miller given his marching orders in the 13th minute of play, and the Tabletoppers put at an immediate disadvantage. So here's Miller with Terazaghi, and that's just uncalled for, going up high on the 3-time MVP. 3-time Golden Boot winner in League One play. Miller putting his club at a disadvantage early on. And you can't afford to go down a man against the Richmond Kickers of all teams. David Garcia, Derek Waldeck leading Colin Radosav in his ruling. Derek Waldeck, you can see mouthing, what was he supposed to do? No doubt Terazaghi and Miller got tied up on that play. As the star Richmond striker a little shaking him. With this ruling, Spokane will be down to 10 men the rest of the way. Carlos Marancio trying to get some reasoning here. It's a dangerous situation. You see both of them tied up. It's the contact that Miller made with the head of Terazaghi. Is the reason for the red card drawing. A key opportunity for the Kickers here today on the road. They were able to come away with 3 points. They would jump up to 3rd in the standings. Here's another look at it. Yeah, and Miller just out of control there. Already on the ground with Terzaghi standing over him. And all Lee Wiedemann can do is try and coach his side to at least a result here. Fans of much disapproval, and for Darren Sawatsky and his crew, it's time to lock in offensively. An unfortunate sequence of events for Spokane. And Emiliano Terzaghi showing a yellow card as well. I'll serve the two. So Spokane down to 10 men. The next 74 minutes and change. Marcelo Lage set to come in for Spokane, an everyday starter next to Cameron Miller in the center back spots last year. Violent conduct, the official ruling on the red card for Cameron Miller.
Sparrow, what y'all doing? Okay, you got it. Come back here when you're done.
Already that sense of urgency having to be tripled here for Spokane. Every pass so crucial as Jack Denton's falling in. Double team in the corner. Make sure to eat plenty, folks, while watching this match. And substitution for Lage taking place. Lage will come in for his Joan. Lage last year had a team-high 2,870 minutes. A couple years ago with Las Vegas Lights FC in the USL Championship, recording 4 goals, 4 of which were headers. So an aerial threat if given the opportunity. Hoping to provide some sense of stability. Back to Cameron Miller. That is the first ever red card in his professional soccer career. On the far side, things getting chippy here in the 18th minute. Josh Kirkland, Eric Waldeck having a go. Well, one thing Lee Wiedemann brought up in the week leading up to the match is his club has been thrown different experiences throughout the year. You deal with red cards, trailing in matches, leading in matches, conceding goals to make it tighter. But this situation, unlike any that he's faced this year, Wiedemann, a coach that believes those past experiences really have turned his club successful as this cross by Fitch. Settle down. Shot from the far side. Just to get out and run for Spokane. Pelaez able to beat Franca to it. Coach Wiedemann mentioned, Tormenta, you bring bad weather, tough travel, and a tough environment to play in. Vialti, you have to absorb the pressure of being up 2-0. Challenge of facing Oakland in the Jägermeister Cup. Dealing with Oakland Roots coming back to make it a close match. The fact that Portland Hearts of Pine sat in a 5-4-1. Made it tough for Spokane to score that one, resulting in one of the 2 draws this year for Velocity FC. Coach Wiedemann hoping that those past experiences pay off in some sort of fashion here today. Sloppy passes by Richmond. Spokane a little bit of life due to the numbers advantage. A slow up game. There's Morancio. David Garcia. Central column, Lewis. Given right back. From outside the box. Deflected well by Morancio. The USL on the CBS Sports Network continues on May 28th with a championship Western Conference doubleheader. San Antonio FC takes on FC Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising FC at 10:30 p.m. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network on May 28th. Shot wide by Terazaghi. Morancio trying to provide some sort of calming presence for his club. Shutout today for Morancio would be quite impressive. At the end of the day, shutouts are a team effort. But to do so down a man would be that much more impressive. Elias has that one picked away. A great chance here today for Darren Sawatsky to work on defense. Sawatsky feeling that a lot of things going good for his club here early on, but defense something they're still trying to work on. Conceded plenty of goals thus far.
Let's go,
Last 3 matches, conceding 7. Seven goals conceded coming across all competitions. In terms of fixing that aspect of the game, it's about baby steps. They could be a step in the right direction for Richmond defensively. By Kirkland, given to Waldeck. Here Reedy with space. Opportunity on the byline, crossed inside. Guy Franca falling on the ball. Spokane players livid, they felt there was a handball. Pierre Reedy on the cross. I don't know if Franca was trying to cover up the ball or he simply fell. Fans of the home side, it's fair to say they're being tested here early on, along with their club. Simon Fitch, staple at that right back spot. Kirkland just above him, trying to make headway. Richmond, a club that loves to press. As you can see Jonathan Canagua and Emiliano Terazaghi up top. Here's a look at the previous plea for a handball by Spokane. Threaded pass by Lewis, Reedy's cross. Just from our vantage point, we can't tell that Franca got a hand to it. Pelias and Lewis, more or less sure of it. With his back turned to the cameras, just not giving a great look there. We'll go with the benefit of the doubt. Colin Radosav, our head official. Denton tugged down from behind. A stellar crowd today at One Spokane Stadium. With the rain going away for now, it's going for a nice afternoon at the pitch. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. And in case you missed it, folks, a red card in the 13th minute to Spokane's Cameron Miller. That's the reason we're down to 10 men. Great opportunity for Richmond to get a much needed 3 points after drawing even in 3 consecutive league matches. Kanagwa out to Terzaghi. This cross blocked by Waldeck and out for a corner kick. Excellent chance here before the half-hour mark on a set piece for Richmond. And Beckett Howell set to take this ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Howell searching for his first goal contribution as a professional. It's defended well. By Vaughn to the hands of Morancio. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Championship Eastern Conference rivals Detroit City FC and Charleston Battery will battle it out on the field at 4 p.m. Eastern on May 24th. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Roar from the crowd. Spokane with the ball. One of the kicker's players he'd have booted that ball away in bad sportsmanship. Fans calling for a yellow, and we play on. Even down a man, Spokane doing something that they've done so well the past couple of years, possession. Owning 59% of the ball. Richmond not backing off that high press. This is one of the great things about USL 1. As you see Jonathan Kanagwa screaming to Morancio, Emiliano Terzaghi working toward Lage. You have 2 players on the opposite spectrum of the league. Kanagwa, rookie, coming out of college, getting that first taste of professional experience. And Terzaghi, you can arguably consider the greatest League One player of all time. The league's leading goal scorer with 60. The mentorship that's available in this league, might be none better than it. Those 2 getting to start next to each other as the 2 forwards here today. That would make for an quite interesting and exciting scoring combination. We need a half-hour mark. Snedden really overzealous to get his mitts on that ball. And Richmond, no shocker here with numbers. For Kanagwa. Pulled well by Morancio. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. game of football. As Lee Wiedemann has learned over his years, there's a model of principles to the game. This one's crossed in, headed by Kirkland and wide. We'll get back to that point here in a second. Kirkland with an excellent run on the back post. Just not able to connect. Hitting that ball a little too square on. Back to Lee Wiedemann. You know, he recognizes there's principles in place for the game of football. They're pretty standard. The game lacks today. Just grinding out wins, doing whatever it takes to put up a result. Whether it's being scrappy, quite literally getting on the ground, and winning a ball or two. As this one's crossed in. Settled down by Simon Fitch. Knocked away by Reedy. Coach Wiedemann, well, it'll take a lot today to come away with 3 points. It's not impossible. Darren Sawatsky would love a first half lead heading into the locker room. So many players on this pitch. Talented with the ball. We talked about Terazaghi and his accolades and Darwin Espinal in the open. Josh Kirkland out of Deep Run High School, former All-American, University of Mary Washington. 4 goals already, his first year as a professional. So when you have someone like Adrian Billhart, who's unavailable to play, Coach Sawatsky can have confidence in going to a guy like Josh Kirkland. In the words of the 6th-year coach, it's just been a joy to work with. Kirkland on his first pro contract. Point was on trial for 6 months with Richmond. Came in right around the time they went on that stellar run to close out the 2024 campaign. Here's David Garcia and Marcelo Lage trying to limit that man, Emiliano Terazaghi. Clinical all over the pitch. Spokane have been tested and stood strong so far. Here's your ICCU corner kick. Lofted with in-swing. The wind taking a bit of a stranglehold on that ball. Luis Gil attempting to keep the ball alive, giving it right back to the visitors. Jonathan can really do anything he puts his mind to. He can play center back, full back, act as a pivot mid. Or play more as a central midfielder. Right now you'll see Barnathan wearing number 2. Trying to just rotate that ball throughout the formation. For Coach Sawatsky, dominating the flanks of utter importance today. Entry in the middle here, even down a man, Spokane not giving in. As Pelias thought he had a chance to get out and run. Back the other way. Beckett Howell up ahead. And that one not close. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Spokane backing off. Give Marancio some room on this liftoff. Trying to make up some ground as quick as possible as we hit the 36th minute. Nearly working quite kindly for the home side. A foul against Reedy. Good sportsmanship there, checking on the injured Kickaroo. That ball bouncing up high a little bit. Reedy colliding with Franca. Josh Kirkland working his way around Waldeck. And steers that one away. Reedy backtracking, put in a tough spot. Waldeck coming over in support, and he's in a worse spot. And pushed down right at the corner flag. Simon Fitch is defending Waldeck there, so gritty. You have to be defending a man like that. Derek Waldeck recording his first goal with Spokane this year. For a lot of folks who follow the league, there is no Spokane without Derek Waldeck, and vice versa. Just touched there by Reedy. And a touch there by James Vaughn. As Pelaez knew it immediately. And a red card in the 13th minute by Cameron Miller of Spokane Velocity FC, putting the home side at a disadvantage, but you wouldn't know it. Spokane controlling 55% of the ball here. They're without a shot. They've steadily worked toward putting something dangerous together. He's throwing near the box, and it's saved by Sneddon. Best chance of the day for Spokane. A lofty boot into the Spokane sky by the young keeper. Velocity FC trying to maintain the ball. But what a throw in by Pierre Reedy on that near touchline, giving Spokane a scoring chance. Trying to turn and face. Working vertically is one of his best attributes. He's been limited today with the club down a man. Valuable in so many other areas, bringing physicality and size. Denton sending the ball into recycle. Through ball up ahead, chasing is Javier Martin. His cross short side, and Heel pumps that one up into the netting. Book your stay today at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. Thing Lee Wiedemann should walk away with some positive sense after the first 45 minutes of play. Some of the chances Spokane has created. Richmond looking to take the lead here. Just under 6 minutes until stoppage time. They've gotten Josh Kirkland involved plenty. Just inside and nearly finding Kirkland. This one out for a corner kick. Richmond content with taking their time as Beckett Howell will head to the corner flag on this ICCU corner kick. Howell, the second Academy player to sign a professional contract under head coach Darren Sawatsky. Another Richmond native with an excellent opportunity here late. With in swing, but a little too much power. Sent to defend Louise Heel on that far side. And that's no easy challenge. Heel's so creative. Seufert quickly silenced. Simon Fitch did so many things right last year to lead Richmond to the playoffs. We'll see him make plenty of different runs, both overlapping and underlapping, as you can see right there. Switching the sides, constantly creating movement and traffic. So you always have to keep an eye on Fitch. Thought about working his way back, cutting inside. Elias. With lightning speed, he might get to that ball, but with human speed, just a little out of his reach. Here's Kirkland. Waldeck. Cross off Canagua. Elias battling there with Vaughn. He'll go the way of the hosts. Elias so physical, demanding plenty of attention and coverage. What an upgrade last August for Lee Wiedemann and company to bring in the Colombian. Scored 9 goals in his tenure with Spokane. Play by Reedy back to Waldeck, and he's pulled down from behind. And Spokane are going to be in a great spot here with a set piece. Waldeck calling for a booking, making a little notion toward the head official, but just tugged down by Dakota Barnathan, the captain. That one's a no-brainer. Waldeck and Heel standing over this ball, nearly scoring off a throw-in. 10 minutes or so ago. Even better opportunity here. Here's Louise Heel. Backside, knocked down. Inside the 6 and in! It's a miracle in the Pacific Northwest. Anwar Pelaez continues his tear. Sneddon is speechless. A misplay by the Kickaroos. And Pelaez is now the league's leading goal scorer, so a misclear by Simon Fitch. And it's tough to see, so here's Heel at first. Mistouch by Sneddon. Fitch knocks that one off of Howell. And then it's just Anwar Pelaez being more physical than James Sneddon. And down a man. The team that's been best in the league up to this point are on top as we hit stoppage time. This half stoppage time is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. 3 minutes of added time, indicated by our officiating crew. But we talked about it earlier in the match. Lee Wiedemann embraces every experience that his club has gone through up to this point in the season. Bad weather, tough road environments, letting teams back in the match. This one unlike any other, and it's setting up to be a memorable final 45 minutes of play. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Kirkland chasing. Able to beat Morancio to the ball. Wonder what the approach will be for Spokane. They'd be looking to add to this lead. They sit back and defend. Prior to this match, if they did sit back and defend, that would go against what Lee Wiedemann wants to see improvement on. So we see an aggressive chance of play. Aggressive style of play. Lee Wiedemann should be no surprise. And Spokane playing with 10 men. Marching orders issued to Cameron Miller in the 13th minute. Velocity FC unfazed. Spokane Stadium rocking and very much alive. Set piece from deep. Eric Waldeck, footed left back. Foul against Spokane. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Well, that wraps up a very memorable first 45 minutes of play from one Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. The tabletoppers going down a man in the 13th minute, not giving in to the disadvantage on the pitch, and Anwar Pelaez, he just recorded his 6th goal in league play this year. Spokane lead Richmond 1-0 after the first 45 minutes of play. Well, things were chippy. Darren Sawatsky going into a tough road environment, and his side will look to equalize in the final 45 minutes of play. Lee Wiedemann has to be more than happy. Besides the red card, they look to walk away with 3 points here. Stay tuned. We've got an excellent halftime plan for you. This match is brought to you by Thrive It.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day? In time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Back at One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington, Velocity FC leading the Kickers at home down a man 1-0. And this halftime score and match is presented to you by Thrivent. Let's take a look at Team of the Week from match week 10 across the league. Swabu Maru, our Player of the Week, recording just the third perfect hat trick in league history, the first of the season for League One. Plenty of Charlotte players. This is, well, Luis Alvarez also getting the nod with Alfredo Midense. Javier Garcia leading Texoma to a result. They actually picked up their first ever win in club history last night against Omaha. Mike Jeffries named Coach of the Week for Charlotte Independent. And that's your Team of the Week for match week 10. And let's take a look at Goal of the Week and Save of the Week from USL One.
Corner kick delivery towards the back post. It's knocked home. Brilliant delivery from Charlie Ostrom is knocked home by Samuel Owusu. And Owusu has his first for Omaha.
Midense does so again, tried for goal, and Hammersley in action very quickly to keep it out.
Good ball ahead. Las Vegas has done it!
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Bomb's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Bomb's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a loan off it. Take a loan for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Who wants that smoke? You want that smoke? Look, I ain't playing, I'm saying this ain't a joke. There ain't no bluffing, I'm calling you out for show. It's either all in or nothing, I go for broke. Who wants that smoke?
Today's match is brought to you by Thrivent. Plan your finances for the people, causes, and community you love. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Doc, Flatstick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Taking a look at new
Students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too. For part 2 of their inaugural season, you could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
Today's match is brought to you by Thrivent. Plan your finances for the people, causes, and community that you love. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Taking a look at highlights from the first half. Those are presented by Thrivent. So getting us started here was the Kickaroos. Looking into the attacking third. Emiliano Terazaghi not afraid to let it rip from outside the box. That one handled well by Carlos Morencia. Now this one occurring after the Cameron Miller red card. Andre Lewis finding Pierre Reedy. And his cross right on the edge of the byline. It would find DeFranca. You can see Anwar Pelaez and Andre Lewis pleading for a handball, but not getting that call. Then a throw-in by Reedy. They were getting closer. A header by Marcelo Lage on target and saved by Sneddon. So even down a man, Spokane slowly putting the pieces together. And in the 44th minute, Spokane Velocity would strike gold. A set piece and a misclear by Simon Fitch. And Anwar Pelaez being physical and just beating James Sneddon to the ball right on the byline. And down a man, Anwar Pelaez, the league's leading scorer, giving Spokane the 1-0 lead. Again, our halftime stats also brought to you by Thrivent. Spokane coming away with 3 shots, 2 of those on target, and owning possession with just 10 men, holding 52% of the ball. Just 1 yellow card aside from the red card today. Other than that, it's been pretty clean for the most part. Now taking a look at our live standings, which are also brought to you by Thrivent. Spokane would take sole possession of first with 20 points, jumping ahead of the Charlotte Independents. Richmond would stay in that 5 spot as they would still be tied for 4th with 1 Knox. Defending champs Union Omaha still under that playoff line. Going to Texoma last night. Texoma coming away with a 2-1 victory at home. First victory in club history. Emiliano Terazaghi and company, well, they're in position not just draw, but complete a comeback. They'll be playing 11 men to 10. Anwar Pelaez is the man responsible for the Spokane lead. been a magician this year. Spokane in their white uniforms with impact blue letters and numbers. Richmond in their red kits with white letters and numbers. Their head referee, Callan Radosav, had a busy first 45 minutes of play. Trying to keep tempers at bay. He's performed valiantly so far. Weather's still a little brisk. 53 degrees, it feels like 48 with the wind. Rain was in the forecast, but it has since passed. Radosav checks his watch, blows the whistle, and we are underway for the final 45 minutes of play between Spokane and Richmond. Josh Lill bringing you all the action from the Pacific Northwest. And again, today's match is brought to you by Thrivent. Plan your finances for the people, causes, and community that you love. Velocity FC controlling possession the first half by 52%. Cameron Miller giving his marching orders and violent conduct as he was tied up with Emiliano Terzaghi. Spokane not affected so far. This one's shaping up to be an excellent finish, as this is the closing match in League One for match week 11. And near giveaway, Terzaghi slips and falls and bails out Luis Heel. Lewis under duress. Tosh coming in. Ken led the team in minutes last year. Jome had to come off. Just let the defensive-minded Lodge give Spokane a shot to prevent a scoring chance. Here's Javier Martin, a header! Save made by James Snedden. And Spokane nearly doubled their lead. Magnificent effort from the 19-year-old. They're not done. Here's Lewis. Looking from left to right. Richmond loving to throw bodies at the ball. Or Spokane, they want to play vertically. Working as quick as possible into the attacking third, but doing so efficiently. Coming into the match today, Spokane second in the league in penalty area entries. Today, no surprise, but trailing in that category, ever so minor. Beautiful ball up to Pelaez. And he's asking for a handball. James Vaughn and Franca were over there to prevent a clean chance. Javier Martin having such a great impact. Had a header that was saved by James Snedden. Looked like that one came off the body of Luis Heel. This corner kick is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. Holding to take. Callan Radosav clean up some of the early contact. Left off from Waldeck. Batted away by Snedden. Snedden having his hands full. It's part of one of the improvements Darren Sawatsky is looking for from his side, his defensive unity. Today, now more than ever. A chance to make that improvement. It's been tough so far. That goal by Pelaez, 9th first half goal in 9 league matches for Spokane this year. So continuing their tear. first half of matches. For Richmond, that's the 5th time that they've conceded in the final 15 minutes of the first half. Just a couple of narratives coming together to make a story. As Morancio picking the ball up. Donate on behalf of Thriving to support the Union Football Program, Nuestras Raíces Centro Comunitario, to help with their incredible work supporting Spokane's Latino community. Javier Martin dispossessed. Richmond just unable to contain the ball. Heel trying to unlock Denton. Opportunity on the byline for a cross. He's tiptoeing and nearly missing a header. And Pelaya's nearly recording a brace here inside the first 52 minutes. Excellent patience by Denton. You see plenty of times players have the opportunity to cross right there, but Denton opting to work closer. Pelaya's moving great without the ball. A little too much mustard on that hot dog. Pelaya is unable to connect.
You look like you're from Northern Ireland.
Just one win, 3 total losses for Richmond. They've trailed in league play this year. Another narrative the Kickaroos are trying to change. Being able to put those comeback performances together. Here's Kirkland. His pocket picked. He collected it back inside, headed away by Garcia. It's been head scratching at times today for Richmond. Trying to unlock Spokane. Velocity FC refusing to give the visitors any space in that central column. They're blocked. It's little plays like that for Spokane. We're giving them the edge here today. Richmond, more or less in the first half hour of play, controlling that left flank really well. Creating opportunities across inside. A screamer right beyond the legs of Josh Kirkland. Great off-ball run. Espinal. His feet just unable to hit Kirkland in stride. Denton, quick give and go. Bodied away there by Seufert. And Reedy returns the favor, and he's pushed down by Canagua. And Spokane fans rejoice. The first booking today, or second booking, excuse me, the way of Richmond kickers today. And Seufert dispossessed by Reedy. Canagua just colliding with his back.
Yellow card number to Richmond in the 54th minute. Number 18, Jonathan Canagua.
His first booking of the year. Excited to see Canagua step up in the late stages of the match. Scored a goal back in the Atlantic 10 title game with VCU. Great chance here for him today. Here's Waldeck right at the edge of the 6. Finds screaming Snedden. Pays looking for Kirkland. Jack Denton having none of that. Not afraid of a challenge. And a tackle there by Reedy. Substitutions getting ready for Richmond. Bolduc, Maxi Schenfeld set to come in for the visitors. That pass finds no one but a diving Carlos Morancia. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Substitutions coming on for Richmond, Schenfeld and Bolduc. Coming on for the Kickaroos. Darwin Espinal seeing the end of his day, along with Josh Kirkland. Bolduc, you see there, one of 15 players in Richmond's modern era to have represented the club over 100 times. Bolduc, part of that Players Shield squad back in 2022 for the Kickers. And one of 7 30-year-olds to be on the roster for the Kickers. So Canagua out, Bolduc in. So apologies there, Espinal not coming out of the match. He'll stay in. He's a much needed scoring threat. Here's another scoring threat himself, Luis Heel. There's a couple of Spokane players collide in the 6-yard box. Richmond working on the counter, but it's Anwar Pelaez, not the sight Spokane fans want to see. Colliding with whom it looks like Pierre Reedy. And Pelaez, who's had such a positive impact, not just on this club, but the Spokane community. And Reedy running right into him, and Pelaez calling for aid immediately. And Pelaez hasn't moved. Levy had been trying to collect his club together. His veterans in David Garcia and Captain Luis Heel. Trying to figure out how to come away with 3 points with a lead, down a man in the midst of it all. His team's leading scorer as well as the league's leading scorer. Shaking up pretty badly on the pitch right now. Some of the bench players coming on to check on Pelaez, taking a moment to gather himself with the training staff. Sawatsky trying to find a way up a man. Put one past Moranci out. He knew working down the middle of that defensive formation for Spokane would be a highly difficult task today. He is confident. Guys like Espinal, Terzaghi, Neil Seufert, they can even this match up. And Pelaez with blood draped all over his face. I hope he's okay. Looks like he just went 10 rounds in the ring. Here's when he's pushed from behind. It's apparent where he would have cut himself. But yeah, you could see the prettiest of sights is Marky Hernandez, one of the League One veterans coming over from northern Colorado this offseason. Checking on the injured Pelaez. Lee Wiedemann, one of the more clinical coaches in the league. Someone who deals with pressure day in and day out. One of the beautiful things about coaching in Spokane that Wiedemann mentioned is the serenity of the mountains. You know, in a match like today, blood pressure can't be so kind to Lee Wiedemann. The serenity and peace of nature have done so much for him and allowed him to reflect as Anwar Pelaez getting up to a round of applause, trying to stop the bleeding. It appears right in that area of the nose. Obviously someone the coaching staff Spokane would love to see stay on the pitch. But a different name might be called here. Pelaez's day is done. He's performed ever so valiantly today. We have the game-winning goal right now. The sole lead for goals in League One. Pelaez has won over all the hearts of the Spokane natives. Wiedemann doesn't like to see his star striker come out. Pelaez walking on 2 feet, trying to plug up his nose. Spokane set to alternate their strategy. Pelaez will officially head to the locker room to get looked on. It was Pierre Reedy whom he collided with in the 6-yard box. Waiting for a jersey to be unveiled here. And Nico Brett is set to come on for Spokane. Didn't have a clean look at jersey number underneath that warm-up. Now standing in that white kit with Impact blue letters and numbers. It's Brett who will take his place, but right now it's 11-on-9 for Richmond. Best opportunity they've had. Lewis has his jersey tugged. Martin dispossessed. Hull running circles around heel. Schenfeld tiptoeing. This is going back the rest of the match. Brett, the well-versed scorer in the history of the USL. 85 goals in his time in the USL Championship. We'll get to more on him later. Schenfeld's cross denied there by the captain, Luis Hill. So here is Nico Brett officially coming on for Anwar Pelaez, the native from Kingston, Jamaica. Recently spent time with Memphis 901 in the USL Championship. Played just 4 matches last year due to injury. With 8 caps for Jamaica at the U17 and U20 levels. Brett's a proven scorer. We'll hop in this 10-man formation for Lee Wiedemann. In the absence of Cameron Miller due to a red card. Richmond looking a little bit alive. Show for it. As we're just over the hour mark. Reedy shoved from behind. Spokane will get their first chance to build here with Nico Brett. Enter the Prinks Tires Tailgate Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $3,000. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter today. Schenfeld with excellent defense. Give and go, Terzaghi. Couldn't quite connect with Seufert. That play working in other wonders. Despinal putting on the brakes. Miscommunication with Bolduc and Fitch. It goes out for a goal kick. .55 it is in Spokane, Washington. Wind blowing 8 miles an hour to the northeast. Brisk temperatures with that wind. Makes it feel like about 48 degrees. A little bit of rainfall as the teams initially took the pitch at around 4 p.m. Pacific time. But it's been just cloudy since. Schenfeld, one of the best crossers in the league. Top 3 in that category. Already has 1 block today. Move on to Fitch. Can you see Simon Fitch's aggressiveness? Trying to make that overlapping run. Little touches by Spokane preventing him from doing so. Here's Schenfeld. Opportunity for Richmond. Sent wide by Laj. Darren Sawatsky likes it, clapping his hands. Game of football. Very rarely do you just get an immediate chance right out of the gate. Spokane took a little time down a man. A couple of chances. And they were able to connect. Richmond starting to put the pieces together here. As Vaughn will let loose. Aaron Sawatsky, Schenfeld. Simple switch of the pitch. You're not often given that central column by Spokane. So with little space, Sawatsky giving his club the green light to take that opportunity. Win today for Spokane. He's 6 in a row in all competitions. For Richmond, their last victory coming on April 9th against Union Omaha at home. Desperate for 3 points today. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Aggressive switch, timed pass. Bolduc blocking the cross attempt of Matt Bolduc. Franca has that one taken away. Handles up to Espinal. Given over to Brett. And Pierre Reedy. Very dangerous vertically. Shovels it off to Denton. Behind Martin. Shot from heel. Excellent defense there from Richmond. Heel given a golden opportunity at the edge of the area. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Here's Lewis. Triple team. Dangerously escaping it. Actually giving it away to Seufert. Possession is tilted, way of the kickers. Schenfeld volley to himself. Javier Garcia, former NoCo man. Other side to Luis Heel. Lee Wiedemann trying to slow up the attack for the guys. Even down a man. Coach Wiedemann. These players to play with patience, still make the right decisions. Each time starting to click as we passed the 70th minute mark. Richmond trying to find that equalizer. The offside flag goes up. Swansky imploring his team to play with that sense of urgency, not completely carefree. I've seen a couple of errors like that. Even if you take the offside out of it, that pass would have been too far ahead to reach Bolduc. Reminder, Spokane playing with 10 men. Card in the 13th minute. Richmond unable to take advantage of that opportunity. Barnathan. With a nice challenge. Ahead of Martin. Richmond are in business. Espinal. Felled the left-footed left back. Able to work. Switch the sides. Fitch not giving any room. Guys like Derek Waldeck and Javier Martin, so excellent in 1v1 situations. One of the reasons Lee Wiedemann, whether he has 5 in the midfield or 4 along the back line, he wants those two guys at the wingback spots. Here's Bolduc. Giving away. Here's Reedy. Evading defenders. Carefully placing that one. And over to 10. Didn't like the look with Lewis initially. Martin and Velocity FC opting to reset here. Terzaghi. Dangerous in the attacking third. Spokane knows the mission. Put 2 bodies to the ball there. Simon Fitch. Bolduc attempting to work inside. Down defense there by Waldeck. Reedy going for it all. We play on. Pure effort there from Pierre Reedy. Here's Andre Lewis, known as a defender. brings attacking prowess. Cross inside. Missing Nico Brett. Seufert. Terzaghi. Taken down cleanly. Spinall a little shocked in the moment. Kept his composure. Giving Richmond a chance. Cross on the byline. And steered aside for corner kick. This is the ICCU Corner Kick, your financial success fan club. Richmond. Ball. Bulldog leading Luis Heel. Tough, that one was deflected or a mistouch. Either way, Darren Swatsky unhappy with that sequence. Brett playing long for Andre Lewis. Well-timed run. Snedden has to be careful heading it away. This one will stay with Velocity FC. Three substitutions set to take place for Spokane. Colin Fernandez, Sango Akale, and the former Richmond man, Nil Vinyals, set to see the pitch. Lee Wiedemann calling for those substitutions as soon as possible. Can't believe he didn't get him right there. So we'll have to wait a little longer for Nil Vinyals to face Richmond for the first time. Since he was with Tormenta.
What do you do? What do we pay you?
Barnathan. See if Seufert can get anything going. Just to go to Schenfeld. Beckett Howell. Cycled around again to the right side. Goes to the back post. Inaccurate and attempted for Beckett Howell. So here it is, Nil Vinyals. He'll check in. First time in many years not wearing a Richmond kick. And a Richmond match. Vinyals. Decorated career with the Kickers. Second all-time in assists. Fifth all-time in goals. He'll come in along with Masango Akale. Colin Fernandez. Spokane players. Pierre Reedy. Jack Denton. Luis Heel all exiting to a thunderous ovation, and rightfully so. They put their team in position to come away with 3 points, down a man. Again, what a moment for Nil Vinyals there. No storybook would it be if Vinyals could put this match on ice against his former club. And 3 more on for Richmond. Hayden Anderson, Chandler O'Dwyer, and Andrew Richmond for the Kickers. Dwyer, the star scores for Richmond last year. 3 to his name in 2025. Hayden Anderson coming over from the Greenville Triumph. Made it to the league semifinals last year. Was able to stay in. disagreement there. Elite Minds. Unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Mauricio. Spokane doing everything they can to prevent any sort of run here from the Richmond Kickers.
Coach, was the move to put in a high schooler? Backward!
Schenfeld inside. Seufert. To Colin Fernandez. Giveaway here. Opportunity for Dwyer. Raj with the denial. Visitors going quickly here. Bolduc. Down on that far flank. It's the best option here for Richmond late. Neil Vinyals defending hard here in the final minutes of this match against his former club. Not too often the replacement nearly has the same name as you, as Nils Seufert. The main replacement for Nil Vinyals. Nil for Nils.
Have a talk with the ref.
Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Mauricio content with wasting time. An excellent crowd on hand at One Spokane Stadium today to see their league leaders. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to the USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Brett taken down. Favorable call for Spokane. We talked a little bit about the upcoming schedule during halftime for both these clubs. But for Spokane, we'll have 10 days off. Haven't had a stretch like that in a very long time. It'll be their longest break here in the 2025 campaign. They'll head to Monterey Bay FC for a Jägermeister Cup showdown. For 7 p.m. local time kickoff on May the 28th. For Richmond, take on Westchester May 25th. So a week from today, 2 p.m. Eastern time kickoff against Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. and company. Have found a groove as the match has gone on. Not just defending, creating some traffic, the attacking third. man since the 13th minute. Side is Vinyals. Javier Martin whiffing on that opportunity. And if Javier Martin was able to connect there, that would have been the 20th career assist for Nil Vinyals, which would have tied him for the most in USL League One history. Tied Arthur Rogers for 20 career League One assists. Team couldn't keep it in. Stays with Richmond. Book your stay today at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. Every second that ticks by is ever so valuable for velocity. Every second that ticks by for Richmond. There's a drop of sweat on the forehead of Darren Sawatsky. Resilient effort today from Spokane. It's not often you can see a team not only hold a lead down a man, but gain a lead. Just 10 men. They've done just that today. Vinyals inside the area, triple teamed. His former teammates know what he's all about. Brett called for the foul. Just 3 minutes away from added time. That sense of urgency fully throttled up for Richmond. Schenfeld trying to pick out the right pass. Fitch. Set up to Bolduc. Excellent chance, back post. They're rolling off the head of Hayden Anderson. And here is Anderson with in swing on the backside. All intended for Simon Fitch. Sent into the great beyond. Win today for Carlos Morancia. Well, it would be his 4th shutout of the year. Probably one of the more memorable. Spokane would jump into sole possession of first with 20 points, 3 ahead of Charlotte. And Richmond would stay tied for 4th with 1 knocks and 12 points. Carlos Morancia given a yellow card for time wasting. I think in that scenario, see okay with that option. Might have wanted a little more time, but content with the booking. And David Garcia tugged from behind. Javier Martin, David Garcia to step to the ball. So pleasantly okay with wasting some time. Morancia with the palms up reaction. Hey, you can't call me for time wasting that time. Just getting over to the ball. But now the Spokane keeper has to go fairly quickly. Lee Wiedemann watching ever so still. The first 13 minutes of this match were so unlike the other 77. Richmond just seem lost right now as we're seconds away from stoppage time. got 5 minutes of stoppage time, which is presented at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. Munoz with a send in, knocked down. Spokane players wanted a handball. We're about to get really interesting now. Every second so precious. Thunderous sounds from One Spokane Stadium. The cheers and the cries of the fans. Trying to will their team. One of the more improbable 3 points of the year. Franca over to Vaughn.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated a minimum of 5 minutes of stoppage time. 5 minutes. This stoppage time is brought to you by
Deck, afraid to show little elbows. Risky pass. Up ahead, Vinyals. Got Brett on the far side. Schoenfeld not allowing a completed pass to Brett. Lewis. As that ball muscled away from him. Mosh with good defense, that one's blocked. Opportunity and great chance covered up by Andre Lewis. Chandler O'Dwyer would have had an empty net to work with. Saw a 70-yard goal from Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. yesterday. Neil Vinyals, the rest of the Spokane players, they better thank Andre Lewis for putting a body on Chandler O'Dwyer and preventing that chance. Dead punts. About, well, just under 2.5 minutes until the expected end of stoppage time. Push forward for Richmond. Makes this part a little dangerous. Brett's hustle. Valiant effort. Kickers working quickly to Spokane's half. Up to Barnathan. It's knocked away by Garcia. Corner kick for Richmond. This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Nils Seufert. 3 assists on the year. Across all competitions. There's a chance for a big one. Back post. And that one just sails over the head of Franca on the far side. It looked good initially. Enough wind to carry it. Just too much power. That boot by Seufert. Final stretch of play here. Schoenfeld attempting to work inside. And Andre Lewis with a second effort to keep the ball with Spokane. Lee Wiedemann has credited Andre Lewis. He demands so much out of a pivot player like him. Always understanding which spaces he should defend. Back on this match, it was a big reason that Spokane are in a winning position. Brett, triple team. And off off the hand of Maxi Schenfeld. And every second that passes, starting to become that much sweeter for Spokane. And tonight, the improbable is possible. Spokane Velocity FC, down a man, have defeated the Richmond Kickers and remain atop the League One table. Lee Wiedemann is pumped. His club has just picked up their 6th win in a row across all competitions. Hyping the fans up. This is a coach who cares so much about the community around him, embraces his staff. And Morancio emotional with the rest of the players. He records his 4th shutout of the year. And tonight's play of the match is brought to you by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Spokane fighters nonetheless this evening. And it's Anwar Pelaez with the only goal. The Spokane down to 10 men. Simon Fitch with a misclear. Pelaez just beating James Snedden to that ball. And that is your Modelo play of the night, the mark of a fighter. Lee Wiedemann pulling off an incredible victory with his club. Your final score, Spokane Velocity FC defeat the Richmond Kickers 1-0. Your final score brought to you by Thrivent. Stay tuned. We've got full-time highlights and stats up next.
De vez en cuando, todos queremos soltarnos. Solo necesitamos un poco de ayuda. Conozca Un Poco de Ayuda. El Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition 2024 pasa por cualquier terreno para que puedas darlo todo. Obtén una gran oferta en una Bronco Sport hoy mismo. Arrienda una Bronco Sport Wild Edition por $339 al mes por 36 meses o cómpralo con 3.9 por 36 y obtén $2,000 de bono Wild.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
This match has been presented by Thrivent. Plan your finances for the people, causes, and the community you love. Spokane Velocity FC defeating the Richmond Kickers 1-0. Much excitement at One Spokane Stadium. They did it down a man. And Lee Wiedemann, more excited than ever, praising the fans for their support. Let's take a look at full-time highlights brought to you by Thrivent. So early chance here for Spokane. They'd already been down a man at this point. And Pierre Reedy with a cross on the byline. Guy Franca steering that one aside into the hands of James Snedden. Anwar Pelaez livid that there wasn't a handball call. But a minute before stoppage time, a set piece by Luis Gil finds the feet of Simon Fitch. His pass deflected back toward the byline. And who else but Anwar Pelaez beating James Snedden and netting that one home for his 6th goal in the league this year. That is a USL 1 high up to this point. In the second half, it was Javier Martin. The cross inside, and Luis Gil really doubled Spokane's lead, and an excellent effort by James Snedden to keep this match within 1 goal. Luis Gil up ahead to Jack Denton, showing patience here on the byline, tiptoeing, and nearly finding Anwar Pelaez for his 2nd goal of the evening. That pass is a little softer. He might be looking at a different score. Full-time stats also brought to you by Thrivent. Again, your final score 1-0. Spokane taking down Richmond. And Velocity FC, not a ton of shots today, a little less than Richmond, but 3 shots on target. No doubt the kickers up a man. They ended up controlling possession in the end by 56%. 1 red card, 1 yellow card for Spokane, 2 bookings for Richmond, and a total of 6 set pieces, 5 of which coming via the corner for Richmond. But were unable to unlock a scoring chance there. And your final score from one Spokane Stadium, Velocity FC coming away with the magnificent 1-0 victory at home. Up next, they'll head on the road to face Monterey Bay FC, and Richmond on the road to face Westchester SC. A huge thank you to our entire crew for all their work against Spokane with the big 1-0 victory. I've been Josh Lill, and thank you for tuning into the match this evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.